Adult learning theory. Adult learning theory. When training adults, an adult learning environment must be established. When a trainer sets the tone for an adult learning environment, the learner and the trainer will show mutual respect for each other. It also sets the tone for respect for the individual personalities and differences of each learner. Adult learning theory. When training adults, the trainer must establish an adult learning environment. Adults have a lifetime of experience, knowledge, and skills that are relevant to the subject being presented. Adult learning theory. Adult learning environments allow learners to participate in decision-making for the class. This could be as simple as helping decide what time to go to lunch or how long to go on break. Adult learning environments validate expression in front of the group. This includes being free to question points that are brought up and even to disagree. Let's explore how adults learn. Adult learners are knowledgeable. Real-world experiences have contributed to the learner's existing knowledge. Experienced. Trainers should draw from that knowledge so that all may learn from it. Independent. Adult learners want to try it out and experience it for themselves. Adult learners are demanding of recognition. They want to be told when they are doing a good job or when they have mastered a task. Assertive in decision-making. They want to have a role in the decision-making process. Varied in their attention span, which can range from 5 to 45 minutes of straight lecture. Adult learners may be more cautious, closed, reserved, and controlled in the classroom. Resistant to change. Resentful of being treated like children. More critical of mistakes made by the facilitator. It's important to remember that everyone learns differently, and it is a trainer's responsibility to develop trainings that address various learning styles. The types of learners we will cover are Type 1, Imaginative Learner, Type 2, Analytic Learner, Type 3, Common Sense Learner, Type 4, Dynamic Learner. The learning preferences: auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and read-write. Type 1 learners, Imaginative Learner. This learner perceives information concretely and processes it reflectively. Incorporates experience with self, excels when they're listening and sharing ideas, seeks meaning and clarity, wants to know the underlying value, and their favorite question is why. Type 1 characteristics. They are insightful, absorbing reality, taking in the climate. They thrive on lots of reflecting time, especially when pondering new ideas. They tackle problems by reflecting alone, then brainstorming with others. They build trust through personal interactions. Type 2 learners, Analytic Learner. They perceive information abstractly and process it reflectively. They learn by thinking through ideas. They need to know details and what the experts think. They are highly skilled verbally and avid readers. Their favorite question is what? Type 2 characteristics. They integrate their observations into what they already know. They are intrigued by how systems function and look for structure. They want to be as knowledgeable and accurate and thrive on lectures and readings. They build trust by knowing the facts and presenting them. Type 3 learners, Common Sense. They learn through incorporating theory and practice. They are skills-oriented and like to experiment. They prefer to work on real problems. They want to learn skills that are of immediate use to them. Their favorite question is, how does this work? Type 3 characteristics. They learn by thinking through their experiences, judging the usefulness of what they learn. They excel at down-to-earth problem solving, often tinkering to make things work. They learn best with hands-on techniques, and they work for deadlines and keep to the plan. Type 4 learner, Dynamic Learner. They perceive information concretely and process it actively. They integrate experience and application, learning by trial and error. Enthusiastic about new things, they're adaptable and open to change. They seek to know the possibilities. Their favorite question is what if? Type 4 characteristics. They learn primarily through self-discovery. They are flexible and flourish in challenging situations. They are enthusiastic about enriching reality, putting new spins on things. They build trust with high communication skills and openness. The 4 learning types. This image represents all the learning types on a wheel. Everyone has elements of all 4 learning types in their learning style, but with strong preferences for 1 or 2 of the types. Now let's look at learning preferences. Learning preferences. There are 4 primary learning preferences: visual, auditory, read-write, and kinesthetic. People learn using a variety of these methods, but one method is usually predominant. Awareness of each learning preference will allow you to address the needs of each type of learner. Visual learners. They learn by seeing and visualizing. They tend to be fast talkers, they exhibit impatience, and have a tendency to interrupt. They use words and phrases that evoke visual images. Teaching strategies for visual learners. Use demonstrations and visually pleasing materials. Make an effort to paint mental pictures for learners, charts, graphs, and diagrams. Highlight important key terms in corresponding colors. Auditory learners. They speak slowly and tend to be natural listeners. They think in a linear manner, remember accurate details, and have strong language skills. Teaching strategies for auditory learners. They prefer to have things explained to them verbally rather than to read written information. They learn by listening and verbalizing. Use planned, organized conversation, guided group discussions. Read-write learners. They prefer information to be displayed in writing, such as lists of ideas. They enjoy reading and writing in all forms. Teaching strategies for read-write learners. Write out keywords in list form. Allow learners to write out in their own words the ideas and principles. Accompany visuals with words, phrases, or statements. Use multiple choice tests or reviews. Kinesthetic learners. They tend to be the slowest talkers of all. They use all their senses to engage in learning. They learn by doing and solving real-life problems. They like hands-on approaches to things and learn through trial and error. Teaching strategies for kinesthetic learners. Use real-life examples, application, and case studies to help with abstract concepts. Use demonstrations or the real-life object. Use pictures and photographs that illustrate concepts. Learning preferences. This image is a visual representation of how the learning styles and learning preferences work together. It is important to address the various learning preferences to complement the learning styles. Remember that every training will have a mix of the various learning types and learning preferences. It is the trainer's responsibility to make sure all of the learning styles are incorporated into each training.